Hey guys, welcome to the J Squared Horror Podcast. I'm Josh.
And I'm Jake.
And on today's episode, we are going to be covering which horseshit of a movie.
We are covering 2022's Halloween Ends. Directed by David Gordon Green.
Yes. A big old pile of hot dog shit.
That's a very strong opinion.
Coming from one of a very big Halloween fan.
I know.
Yeah. What would you like to let the fans know first, bud?
Before we begin, as always, like and subscribe on YouTube. We're also available on Spotify, Google, Anchor, and Apple.
Yes.
Also find us on Instagram, J Squared Horror Podcast, link tree in the bio, new episodes every Thursday.
Every Thursday, me and my best friend decide to talk about all things horror. We are not a review podcast. We are a more traditional podcasting podcast that just talks about horror and all of our thoughts and ideas. What we would like to do with this podcast is invoke conversation between horror fans across all spectrums of fandom. Whether you're an old school fan, new school fan, you know, wherever you are in your horror fandom. So, Halloween Ends was a massive disappointment for me.
Why?
Well, it does not match anything that they have done in this universe of Halloween.
How so?
Michael Myers being the main part of the movie.
Okay.
I get Laurie Strode hasn't always had the strongest parts in these movies. She had a pretty good part in 18. In Kills, she was injured very badly at the end of 18. So she was in the hospital for a lot of that. So they built this movie up to be the final showdown between Michael Myers, Laurie Strode, 44 years in the making.
Okay.
And they decided to do a shitty love story with a 15-minute Michael Myers versus Laurie Strode at the end.
That's why I didn't like it.
There's plenty of other reasons why I didn't like it.
When we first saw the movie, I was on board with you.
Yeah.
Did not like it.
Yeah.
Hated it. Thought it was also a dog shit movie.
It is.
Rewatching it again.
Yep.
I looked at it at this point of view. So it's a trilogy.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you compare these first three movies, or these last few movies, to the first three movies, it's kind of in line. You have one, it rehashes what happened in 78, blah, blah, blah. Part two, it has Laurie Strode in the hospital. And part three, which was Season of the Witch, didn't have Michael Myers in it at all.
Yeah, and look how that did.
So this movie here did not have a lot of Michael Myers in it.
Yeah.
And you kind of think that going into it, when you look at the opening credits, it's the same blue font.
It's blue font, yeah.
Just like part three.
Yeah.
So you have that connection like, hey, there may not be a lot of Michael Myers in this. It seemed as if they were trying to almost go that route of like an anthology, to where this is his third movie.
Yeah.
The premise is still Halloween, and it starts off with Corey killing that kid.
Yep. Well, the kid killing himself, but yeah.
He didn't kill himself.
Well, I mean, gravity killed the kid.
Yeah. Corey assisted.
He did kick the shit out of that door.
That door assisted.
Yeah.
And that itself could have been a movie.
Yeah.
It's just the story of Corey, what he has to go through, yada, yada, yada. As it goes on, you sprinkle in a little Michael Myers. So if you go into it not expecting to have a lot of Michael Myers, the movie itself isn't horrendous.
Okay.
Okay?
But
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about any of that. I don't care what deep fucking meaning they decided to try to go with, what fucking analogies you can make, what this and this and this. You guys fucked up and pissed off true Halloween fans, true Michael Myers Halloween fans.
And that's what I'm saying. That's the problem.
That is probably the dumbest reason to do what they did. To base it off of Halloween 3 Season of the Witch?
It's not
based off of it. I fucked up with that wording. But to try to go with that same vibe, that's fucking stupid.
They did it with Halloween 2. Halloween Kills and the original Halloween 2 kind of have the same, when it comes to Laurie, it's the same thing. Her and the hospital entire fucking movie.
Yeah. I mean, I get that.
So there's certain aspects they try to pay respect to and do again. So this being the third movie, they tried that same theme, I feel like.
I mean, I get that because the one biggest tale is, like you said, the intro, the lettering is blue. It's just like it was in Season of the Witch.
Yeah.
Which is fucking stupid.
That's your first indicator. Michael Myers is not going to be in this movie a lot.
Then why set it up that way?
How so?
Look at the posters. Think of the title. Think of everything that they did with this movie and building it up since Kills.
He's in the movie.
Yeah, but it's not Michael Myers. Whatever the fuck that was not Michael Myers. That is not the shape. That is not Michael Myers. That is just some guy in a mask who somehow eyeball possesses a kid. I don't fucking know.
That's because in this movie, that's what Michael Myers is. Just a man in a mask. He's not supernatural. He's not unkillable. He's just an old man in a mask.
Then why the buildup? Why do 18 kills? Why? Why waste our time and our excitement?
To build it up for part 3, him not be the unstoppable killing machine he was in the first 2.
To do this would be fine if they would have just did it, the 3 and then something else.
What do you mean?
Like, complete your trilogy that David Gordon Green got, and then do something like this.
Make something.
Then do something like this. Do not build it up. Do not give the fans an expectation, because I'm not the only one that feels like this. You didn't feel like that coming out of the movie.
That's true.
You had very similar expectations of a horror, of a Halloween, Michael Myers, The Shape vibe. I mean, we have a whole episode. If you guys go back in our catalog, we covered what we thought would happen. I don't give a shit that I was completely wrong. That's not the point.
Yeah, I agree.
I really don't. That was fun. That's what this podcast is meant to do. To just make you think, have fun, talk about stuff. But think about it this way. You do a Marvel universe.
Okay.
And then just some other superhero at the very end comes in, does some shit, and then some people die. That's going to cause fucking outrage. You do the same thing with Star Wars. It's going to cause fucking outrage.
Okay.
Why try to do this like, oh, you got to be a deep thinker. Oh, you got to be this. No, that's not what we want.
What is that, highbrow horror they say?
Yeah, if you're going for highbrow horror with Halloween, you're fucking up. Because that's not what we look for. Do this outside of this trilogy, and that's fine. Do this in this trilogy, and I'm this upset.
Well, I think it's because he only had 3 movies. It's the last one. He had to cram all this shit into one movie.
No, the fuck you don't.
Was it done correctly? No. They did waste a lot of time.
What was the point of the love story?
On the Allison and Corey love story.
What was the point in it?
There was no point.
Exactly. But that was a third or more of the movie.
Yeah.
If not damn near half.
Like I said, it's almost as if this wasn't really meant to be a Michael Myers movie.
Then don't promote it that way. Don't put him on the fucking poster. Don't put ends with Laurie Strode and Michael Myers and promote it that way the entire fucking time.
If they didn't promote it that way and the movie's exactly the same, are you okay with that?
No, that's just an added part that pisses me off. Like, you tricked us. You tricked us. You duped fans. You put us in the seats, spend our hard-earned money, and put that piece of shit on the fucking screen.
Yeah, well, the point of every movie is to make money.
Obviously,
so
but
they did
at least respect your fans a little bit. At least try to.
They still have Michael Myers in there. Was he portrayed in the best light? No. So it's almost like they did the part 3 thing, and they tried to almost use the Cult of Thorn thing, it seemed like, when he killed the cop And like you said,
He started shaking.
shaking.
Like, what?
It's almost as if he was regenerating.
Yeah.
So it's almost like they tried to tie everything from 3 up until 6, maybe,
Yeah.
into one movie.
Sense, yeah.
Yeah, into one movie.
It's just, dude, just fuck, man. Like, this is the worst, if not movie, horror film of 2022. Big wise.
Like to be like mainstream.
Mainstream.
Okay.
Mainstream for sure. I can't say all, like completely, because I haven't seen every single piece of horror content that's come out this year.
Yeah.
Out of the main ones that have come out, you have some really, really good ones, some highbrow, if you will, some classic slashers, some kind of like sprinkles in of each, and what's crazy is I watched the new Hellraiser the night before or 2 nights before this. Didn't like it. After watching Halloween Ends, it looks like a fucking Oscar-worthy movie in comparison to it.
My question is, do you not like Halloween Ends based on how it was advertised and what it was supposed to be, or just the movie itself, no matter what, you weren't gonna like it?
Yeah, I don't like this movie, period.
Okay.
Even if like I was like that big of like a Halloween 3, or like I respected that vibe of them doing that, even if they promoted it that way, I wouldn't have been so stoked. I'm definitely very happy I didn't watch the most recent trailer, because I think I probably would have figured it out. I might be a little bit mad at myself for not, because I think it probably would have showed us a little bit more.
Probably, yeah.
And which would have pissed me off a little bit, but then I probably could have been like, dude, let's just save our money and get fucking Peacock for $10.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, dude. Like, we spent $40 on this movie. We went out at 10 o'clock at night. The excitement and anticipation that I had going into this movie, and it was a complete and utter letdown.
I could tell.
I have not been that let down or that hurt by a film franchise ever.
During the movie, I would like glance in your direction.
I was in a bad fucking mood.
You were in a bad mood.
Yeah. When he choked Corey, and it looked like it transferred, I was ready to get up and fucking leave, but I was trying to get my $20 worth.
So, what?
That whole scene doesn't make sense.
Now, my question is, did he transfer it to him?
No.
Or did he like just unlock something?
Opened up his eyes to the evil that could have been in him. Because all it was memories from his own head. The kid falling, the kid dying, him getting bullied, all of that stuff.
Was that evil?
Those flashback scenes. I think it's been sitting, because if you watch Corey throughout the movie, even when he wasn't evil, he had anger issues. He would get very upset. He squeezed the milk bottle, it broke. Like, he's got an anger issue. He's just a bitch. I mean, he is. He gets bullied by a group of marching band guys.
Yeah.
And girls.
True.
And then Laurie Strode has to come save him.
Yeah.
What? Oh, that's going to be the Michael Myers in this movie? Or the Shape, if you will?
So from the trailer we did watch, the very first one, we did know.
Yeah, we knew there was going to be a copycat of some sort.
Yeah.
Because of the scene where he's walking into the room with Laurie Strode.
Yeah. So we knew going into it, there's going to be a fake Michael Myers.
Yeah, I mean, that happens in part 2. Well, it's not. Somebody's just, unfortunately, Ben Tramer is just dressed up and gets
technically
murdered by a cop.
Fake Michael Myers.
Which, by the way,
and what was
the Ben Tramer thing is
part 4, part 5. It's the same thing. There's a scene where it's a bunch of people dressed like Michael Myers.
Yeah. Which they do, Scream does the same thing.
Yeah.
There's always Ghostface running around in Scream movies.
Yeah.
Especially the earlier ones. I don't think the newest one. I don't think that was a thing.
So I know it wasn't Scream 4.
Yeah.
Oh, people dressed up as all of them.
Yeah.
But anyway,
which, like, I get that, like somebody trying to like what I guess I thought from that trailer was like somebody was trying to get either back at, or like they were trying to like reprise Michael, since he hadn't been. We knew it was 4 years later.
Yeah. So
we knew all of that.
Uh-huh.
So like I thought that like, honestly, I thought that like maybe Michael Myers died, and like another person was trying to be him.
Okay.
From that trailer. Like, I wouldn't have liked that per se, but that was like one thought that I did have.
I mean, that's kind of what we got, though.
I mean, yeah, Michael Myers is irrelevant. He's beaten up, he's beaten down until he shimmies a couple of times, but then he gets beat up by the kid. They did my boy Mike dirty.
I mean, it makes sense because in this movie they make Michael Myers just a
very weak old man.
Yeah, just a human.
Yeah.
He's an old man.
Yeah.
He's been beat to shit.
Yeah.
All this been 4 years. He should be healed up by then.
My question is, he pulled him into the tunnel, correct?
Yes.
Okay. But then he runs and hides behind a rock to then choke him?
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense. With the knife perfectly placed in one of those rocks that we find later.
Just hiding it.
Cool.
For the
because he knew that was the kid that he wanted to share his evil with.
But how would he know that?
That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. If anything, he should have made the bum Michael Myers.
Who said he was?
He had
Michael
way
Myers.
more evil in him than Corey did.
He was prepared to kill Corey.
He was ready.
Right then and there.
Right then and there. And then Corey got his little first taste of blood. The kills were irrelevant. They weren't that great.
They were only irrelevant.
They're all side characters.
Um.
Only side characters died in this movie, minus Corey, who became a main character.
Yeah.
Womp. And then, like, don't get me started on, what is it? Hawkins?
Yeah, I don't know.
What the fuck, dude?
I don't know.
You've literally built him up for 2 movies. For him to be an awkward old guy walking around.
Yeah.
Now, the one thing that I did hear through TikTok, of all places, because that's where I get all my news, was that the reason Laurie Strode was so giddy and awkward is because she reverts to her 16-year-old self through the trauma she's been through, which is a real thing. So those scenes where she's like an awkward schoolgirl, if you will, talking to him in the grocery store, is because of that. I don't like that. I don't agree with that based on the Laurie Strode that we got in 18. That doesn't make sense. But there were also comparisons made between, like, 18 was if you don't forget about evil. Kills was if you try to, like, overpower evil. And this one was whatever.
I mean, or it could
if you let it control you or something.
It could just be just 2 people who are awkward because they're interested in each other and they're older.
Yeah, I mean, but
or just all it is.
I mean, that could be that. I mean, it was definitely one of those woke talkers. One of those highbrow girls.
Yeah. They're all about this movie then.
Yeah, dude, oof. And for anybody that, you know, I'm not judging anybody that enjoys this movie. I've never once said that. Okay? Anybody that found enjoyment out of this movie and got something out of it, I'm happy for you. I'm not upset at you being a fan that I am. I cannot control people's fandom and what they look for and what they get out of things. But what I will say is my part and how much I disliked it. Now, all you fans that are calling us fans dumb or not woke enough to understand this movie, that's not very nice. But everybody has their own reasons.
Are people saying that?
And what they look for, it's all over the internet. I'm on a couple Halloween Facebook pages, and it's like a civil war in that bitch. It is insane. I thought Kills was bad.
So you're dumb if you don't like this movie.
Yeah, they're like, you're not smart enough to understand, oh, this is so great. They took a risk. They did all this. Yeah, they took a fucking risk, pissing off a big group of Halloween fans. I'm not saying that your opinion or your reasoning behind the movie is invalid. I'm just sharing my thoughts and opinions on it. Because like Jake said, he went out of it on that Thursday the exact same, like we were finishing each other's sentences about how shitty the movie was. He rewatched it and was able to get something out of it that I did not. One of the reasons why I love having him as a best friend, because he keeps me in check. I try to keep him in check about certain things. Doesn't usually work. But it's insane because Michael Myers, The Shape, and the original Halloween is perfection to me. It is my ultimate horror film. It is something that I've based a lot of fandom on and a lot of what I look for in movies. And I feel like 18 did a really good job of that. Kills did okay. But I'm really, really, really disappointed in this one.
Okay. All right. So, if you had to change one thing about this movie, what would it be?
Take out the love story and replace it with something else.
With what else?
Laurie hunting Michael?
Still?
Mm-hmm.
That's
hunting. Actually actively chasing him down, trying to find him.
After 4 years? Why?
this whole 4 years, that's what she's been doing.
See, so why I did like,
And
why I did
that's
like,
one thing.
it showed a different side of Lori.
Yeah.
The Lori that in certain parts within this movie was more like Lori in 78,
I will give you that.
which was good.
It was the happy she had a little bit more innocence to her again, which is crazy because she was fighting so hard to have a normal life. She was trying so hard to be there for her granddaughter since she wasn't for her daughter.
Yeah.
Some of that stuff is really beautiful and cool, and like I respect it, but like that's not what I wanted.
Yeah, because I mean,
At the end of the day, I'm just a selfish piece of shit that wanted something out of this.
I enjoyed it, that aspect of her, because this constantly worrying about Michael Myers all the fucking like, dude.
Yeah, it was getting old.
Yeah.
But rather than the love story, I still would have taken her hunting him down. Or something else. Fuck, I don't know, dude. That's a hard question.
Okay.
That's just what the first thing that popped into my head. What would you change?
I mean, I would also take out the love story.
What would you replace it with, though?
I would replace it with, so I would take out the love aspect, but still have a lot of attention on Corey. Take out Allison. I don't care if he even meets her or not. But just him, living his life post killing that kid on accident.
Yeah.
And just showing more of his day to day. I would try to tie in more Michael Myers, because you have that parallel of him being a babysitter,
Mm-hmm.
Myers being a babysitter killer.
Mm-hmm.
So you have that opposites going on already.
Yeah.
Expand more upon that, and just try to don't force the two together, but just touch on, we just got past Michael Myers. He's been gone all the time. And with that, him being a babysitter who killed someone, that alone could make him the new Michael Myers.
Yeah.
They didn't need the weird,
the
transfer of energy thing.
Yeah.
Just do that. Maybe he just fucking kills kids he babysits.
Yeah.
Maybe he just snapped. Maybe he
always looks like an accident, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kills his mom or his stepdad, or if something happens, maybe some classmates used to bully him, something.
Yeah.
Kind of like with...
I mean, he does ultimately do all of this.
Yeah, but as he's Michael Myers.
Yeah,
let's just say him on his own, maybe he works at the shit or whatever, and he accidentally drops something on a kid or something, or runs their car through something. Just use that and then build that up. He's now the new Michael Myers.
Yeah.
And then if you want at some point him to try to hide a body, he hides it in the tunnels, and that's when he meets Michael Myers.
I guess based off of what we got.
Yeah.
What you said, that wouldn't be horrible.
Yeah. But
that still should be a fourth.
Okay.
This should have been what the showdown.
So a fourth one should have been just, now we can make a new Myers thing, and that can be a whole new
that would have been fun.
Trilogy, where the fuck it is. Post that.
Yeah.
But Ends needed to be
a part
Lori
of 18
and Myers
kills and it. I'm sorry.
duking it out.
Yeah. That's what you literally built this entire thing up to.
But
even if it wasn't necessarily Laurie Strode, but it should have been the Strode relative. You built the granddaughter up very well, seeing some progression through the movies of her not being so scared to take on Michael Myers, always willing to wield the weapon. You almost built up that Danielle Harris, like she could be the next Myers. Like if they would have went that route, like still okay. But why? I just don't. It's such a waste of two movies.
I thought they were going to do like a Bonnie and Clyde type of thing.
Which would have been super ironic, based on
that was their
the costume of the boyfriend that died. Yeah,
but that was when they were like, talking about burning the city down.
Yeah,
like, so they're gonna team up.
I did think for a second she was gonna snap.
Yeah,
I thought she was gonna just join him. I thought the evil would transfer when they were like looking at each other.
Yeah, but she immediately just reverted, and it didn't happen.
Yeah,
and it made no sense. And the one thing that they kept building up is this fucking radio tower.
Yeah, especially in this one.
And it was nothing.
Nope, just the radio tower.
But it was crazy
that he was obsessed with.
Yeah, and the tower being on fire is what triggered her to know he was at fault.
Laurie didn't kill him.
I'm like, what? That's how you use the tower?
Yeah,
That's so
it.
dumb.
That's all you take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a favorite kill at least?
Probably. I mean, the radio DJ was pretty cool.
Okay.
That one looked alright. Plus, I have a record player, so seeing a tongue skip around on a record was kind of cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll give it that one. What about you?
Mine would probably be, and it's not one you see in full focus, but when he takes that torch and puts it in that kid's mouth.
Sometimes it's like our headphones are connected to our brains and we share thoughts. That was the one that I was literally imagining in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that was cool. The only thing I didn't like is that it was so out of focus.
Yeah. It was, I feel like it was better to see it that way than full focus.
What was your favorite Michael Myers kill?
We have to choose from two.
We got.
No, we have three.
We have three.
Okay. Probably gonna be kind of cheesy, but when he kills the redhead chick,
does pays homage to the OG, your favorite kill from '78. Yep.
He gives her a little head tilt real quick. I enjoyed that.
And once again, you were watching my face throughout the movie, so if you would have looked at me then, you would have seen my disgust as well. But then part of me was like, okay, I finally got Mike back. I finally have the shape back.
Yeah.
I thought, here we go. All right. He's going to look at this kid and be like, you thought, bitch.
Yeah.
And just take him out right then. And then he goes on, and it still would have been a rough one. But, and then like the whole thing my favorite Michael Myers kill. Yeah, same. The fact that they even tried to the Laurie Strode fake suicide thing. Like, I mean, I guess it was because it was a plan. Like, she planned it. So, like, us fans, like, none of us would have believed that.
Yeah.
But, like, obviously she has this sixth sense from going through what she went through. And I even said it after the movie where I was like, damn, I thought she'd be a better shot than that. And then I corrected myself because she shot him twice in the shoulder, which incapacitated, made it to where he couldn't harm her anymore. Yeah. And then she was like, ha, bitch, got you. Everybody's going to know who you truly are. And that's when he's like, if I can't have her, nobody can. Stabs himself in the neck. That was a very good kill.
It's a good kill.
Well, it's not a kill. Shit. It's a very good wound. No, because who kills him? Mike kills him.
True. But also, him saying that in that time made no sense.
Nope.
If I can't have her, then...
Well, he had already said it in the house.
True, but saying it at that moment, like, dude, yeah. If you can't have her... You're not going
to get her.
Well, you're dead, so anyone else will have her.
I guess he also wanted her to not have Laurie. I don't know.
I can't believe Allison, fell for that.
I mean,
you think, come on, dude.
I mean, you think your grandma's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and he obviously dressed as Michael Myers and came up in the house somehow.
That wasn't a red flag right then and there?
I mean, it should have been.
What, do you think she dressed him in that?
Yeah, just come here. Get him dressed. I'll throw the mask over here. I would put the mask back on him. I killed Michael. Hey, movie's over. The old guy walking around with no mask on. Nobody's worried about him. Wait a second. He's missing some fingers and he's burnt up.
This dude walked all the way back to her house to get his mask?
I mean, but if you looked at it, he was at her house another time.
True.
Because he was only following around Corey.
Yeah, but he had the mask on at that point.
Yeah, why was he following Corey?
Corey?
Yeah. I guess because of the shared evil? Because everywhere that Corey went, other than the radio tower, the DJ place.
Well, I feel like, he's bringing him to help him kill.
Why was Michael at the house with the doctor and the redhead? That doesn't make sense.
Because Corey was there.
Yeah, but how did Michael know that?
He just followed Corey.
But why didn't he go to the radio?
Because at that point, Corey had the mask.
Oh, I'm mixing up the two. My bad.
Yeah, it'd be weird.
Oh, yeah, because then that's when he gets his balls after he witnesses Michael killing.
Yeah.
So Michael just killed and then was like, I'm going back home?
Yep.
Back to my tunnel?
I'm going to head on.
He found his new home.
I'm going to head on back here.
He's just going to go ahead and walk on home.
For 4 years? I don't know.
Nobody else fit the description of what he wanted, so he just kill him and eat him.
I guess so. That's when they were all just mostly homeless people.
Probably.
Yeah.
Because I don't think many people get yeeted off a bridge by a group of bullies. Also, very, very tough kid. That's a far fall.
He was tough.
Take to the shoulder.
Well, he'd been through a lot.
He had. But, kid in the beginning, he fell 3 stories. And they did a really good job with that because, if you watch that scene slowly, you see the kid, whip back. It's... Oof.
Yeah, so it looks like he landed on his knees.
And it just snapped him.
And the force made his head just snap.
Yeah.
And he just falls back.
What timing, too? Because the parents had just gotten home 5 minutes earlier.
Yeah.
Everything would have been fine. Yeah, 5 minutes earlier.
The kid would still been dead.
Not 5 minutes earlier. That all happened pretty quickly. That's also if I got locked in the attic by a child, I would not freak out that much.
Yeah, just be calm.
Chill out. He'll get over it, and you'll either get let out when the parents get home, or the kid will let you back out.
Yeah, just chill.
Calm down. Clearly, he does have some issues because he doesn't like being cooped up in a very spacious attic.
Yeah, it's not like he was on crawl space.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, I mean, you lock me underneath the house, I'm killing anybody to get out of that situation. But a nice roomy attic with walkways and stuff, yeah, I'm chilling. Especially because he even knew the parents were coming home soon.
Yeah, so chill.
He had just said it.
He did just say it.
He had literally just said it before he started looking for the kid. Barely any jump scares. They were very corny jump scares throughout this entire film, which says a lot for a guy that's scared of his own shadow.
See, I'm good with not a lot of jump scares.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. I feel like
I still, I just love the lurking, the shadow play that they've majority used throughout the Halloween films.
Okay.
Michael, the whole, Myers vibe, the boogeyman. But the boogeyman's just an old dude in a mask. So.
Yeah. What I did not like.
Sorry to let you down, fans.
Is when they had him on top of that car
the Christmas tree.
Yeah, like a fucking Christmas tree.
Yep. And like we said, throughout this movie, they kept showing clips of that stupid car cruncher or whatever that thing is. And I just knew it was going to come into play. It was the main character of the movie.
Because
that was the main character. That's the Laurie Strode we were looking for.
They did continue
slow shots of the fucking thing. Come on, guys. We know this is going to come into play. And any smart person knows that the only thing that could potentially kill a guy like Michael Myers, would be a machine of that caliber.
Do you think the franchise can come back from this?
I'm pretty sure I just heard you playing an interview where it's everyone knows it's not over.
Yeah.
Michael Myers from 78 is dead. There's no question in my mind.
Anthology time.
But did Corey, in his time, happen to pass that along to somebody else? My guess and my hope is still the granddaughter. I want her to be a killer.
No, I feel like...
But I feel like this whole... Any character...
They're done.
They're all done. Because this universe...
Is done.
But with the idea of a evil that can overtake a person and give them strength and abilities, not superhuman, but very fucking strong. I do think that maybe somehow they can still, maybe it'll be the mask. I don't know, because the mask really didn't give Corey any powers, but when he wore it, he did look pretty cool.
See, now I feel like now is the time to, whoever the next person is, you have to revamp the franchise, and now is the time to turn it into an anthology series, because Michael Myers is done.
Yeah, you gotta find a way to do what John Carpenter wanted to.
Yeah, you can't make a movie where he definitively dies.
Yeah,
and then just redo it all over again. Yeah.
Now, if somebody else does what DGG did and Blumhouse, nobody can really stop that. And we've already heard John Carpenter say he will never turn down a paycheck for anybody's ideas on Halloween or Michael Myers.
Hey, man.
So maybe, we'll get some money saved up. We'll make some phone calls. We'll pick up from 78 and really do it right. because I think I could come up with a better 3 movies than they did.
I don't think you even need 3 movies.
You don't. You only need 1.
You just need 1.
You need a Halloween 2.
Like, honestly, Halloween 2018,
That's the best out of these groups.
it could have been just 1 movie. You already know going into it, Myers doesn't die at that point. So you make just 1 movie, be done with it. Not every movie where the villain doesn't die needs a sequel.
Yeah, you don't have to have the trilogies.
Sometimes people just live.
I mean, and like I said, I one of my famous lines from October 13th of 2022 when we saw this movie was, I hope you do not live to be, you do not stay alive long enough to see them ruin your favorite character like I had to.
Friday the 13th, in my eyes, is already done.
But it never got ruined.
True.
To this level.
Yeah.
It didn't. Now, once again, you've kind of updated your mentality on it.
Yeah.
But I still feel like, even though you got different things out of the movie, do you still agree with that statement? That they ruined the idea of the shape?
Yeah, I mean, as a whole, the movie isn't good.
Yeah.
As a whole,
I don't think you think it's good.
It does. To me, it takes away the boogeyman aspect of Michael Myers.
Which is something we talk about, I'm pretty sure, in the Ends episode, or one of the Halloween episodes, where we're both very irritated that it ever became a Michael Myers story.
Yeah.
It should have been the boogeyman in the shape. Which is how, if I got Blumhouse money, I would go about it.
Yeah.
I really think that would bring a finesse, because when Rob Zombie did his thing, he kind of went his way, and I now respect his way a little bit more than I did prior. His second one's still not great, but
no, it is not.
But I do understand now, I think, what he was at least attempting, and he at least stuck true to the same identity through both movies.
Okay.
And that's what I would hope for out of this one. That's what I did hope for out of this one, is the same vibe.
All right.
Or to just take the mask out completely, take the Laurie versus Michael out, and not amp it up to be the 44-year final showdown. It's like a fucking MMA match.
I mean, it was the final showdown.
That's how they promoted it.
I mean, technically it was the final showdown, but it didn't have to be the entire movie to be the final showdown.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
Do you think that what Laurie Strode did prior to the meat grinder thingy, the car grinder thingy, do you think what she did was enough to kill him?
Yes.
So he gets crucified to a table, refrigerator on his leg. He's like, damn, you got me.
Yeah.
But then, good old Michael Myers fashion, rips his hand up, starts yoking her out, starts choking her out. But then the granddaughter comes home and snaps his old man arm right in half.
Old man arm.
I mean, that thing was as feeble as can be.
Yeah. I mean, when she slit his throat, I was like, yeah, he's done.
Oh, the gurgle.
Yeah.
He sounded, it kind of made me sad, man.
I thought,
because it's like, damn, I've been idolizing this fucking killer for my entire adult life, for sure. And I'm just hearing him.
Yeah.
Like, I could have cried, dude. He's a fucking mass murderer.
He was just a dying old man.
He was. And like his random, like straggly, like at least give him a, decent beard. He's Michael Myers, man. Come on.
And then she slit his wrist.
Well, after she snapped his arm, then she's like, the job ain't done yet.
No.
But my question was, do you think that would have, if they would have just left it at that, Hawkins comes in, the cops come in, that cool sheriff with the cowboy hat comes in. What's his name?
Sheriff Parker.
If he would have come in and seen it, I kind of would have liked for it to, even though, granted, it wasn't a very good movie, there could have been little minor changes. The Christmas tree thing, the parade, really pissed me off. Like, royally, because, like, okay, it's Halloween night, there's no trick-or-treaters, but all these cars are just following this car with an old man tied to the top?
Yeah.
Okay. But if all the cops would have come inside the Strode residence and just saw Myers crucified on the table, bloodless.
Yeah.
And then, because I hate saying it, but it does kind of still leave that, I guess it could technically still leave it open-ended. Because you never know what truly kills the shape. So I guess you have to do something where you see his body literally get turned into gook.
Yeah.
Like, the No complaints on the makeup department. The acting, some people did a really good job. Others were kind of, decent. But yeah, I guess with what they were going for, that was the only ending that could have happened.
Yeah.
All right. On a scale,
Oh boy,
from 1 to 10, what would you rate Halloween Ends?
on a scale from 1 to 10, I would say this movie is a 5.
Wow.
Yeah, this thing is right in the middle. It's not good. It's not bad. If you look at it with a different mindset, based on it being a trilogy compared to the first 3, if you go into it with that, it's a 5. If you go into it based on what the trailers that you should go into it with,
Yeah.
it's damn near fucking 0.
Yeah.
But without the information, I'd say a 5.
Nice.
It was good seeing Jamie Lee Curtis,
Yeah.
Finish out the movie or series.
She's the ultimate final girl.
You got some Nick Castle in there.
You do. He's like a flasher.
Yeah.
That was funny.
So there were things to enjoy. I will say, if I only seen it the first time, didn't rewatch it, it'd be a 1.
Yeah.
What about you?
On a scale from 1 to 10, Halloween is my favorite franchise of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Myers is still my favorite killer of all time.
Mm-hmm.
I will not let one movie dictate my fandom. I give Halloween Ends a 2.
Okay.
Even after rewatching it, I just don't like this movie.
Okay.
It's not a 1 or a 0 because of some of the. I do like the Laurie Strode and some of that aspects. I did get some ha-has here or there, some ha-has that probably shouldn't have happened. But
Yeah.
you put shit in front of me, I'm gonna giggle. But yeah, I give it a 2.
Okay.
I think it's my lowest rating almost ever
I think it is
on
too.
this podcast.
Yeah, especially for a Halloween movie.
Oh, for sure. Halloween. I think even Season of the Witch, we were both like 4s and 5s.
Yeah, it was higher than that too, for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I would rate this. Yeah. Well, not all fans get what they want. Some fans do, some fans don't. I would like to thank our fans for sticking around, listening to us every week. Chime in on what you guys thought. If any of you guys are highbrow or smarter than myself, let me know how stupid I am for not liking this movie and enjoying it. I'd love to chat with you guys. As always, big shout out to our supporters, Jeff Balance, who does our design work, Lucky Riggs, who does our intro and our outro music, Trademark Printing, who does our printing needs. We did just get in a whole slew of hoodies.
New merch alert.
If anything good comes from this episode, this is probably it. They are J Squared Horror on the front, and our Virginia is for horror lovers on the back. We will have some pictures posted soon. We will let you guys know ways to buy. We can ship or whatever. Just let us know if anybody's interested in some hoodies. A place you can get hoodies for our local fans is some of the trivias we are doing coming up. This weekend, I will be hosting a trivia at Pale Horse Coffee in Greenbrier, which is from 2 to 4 p.m. And then on October 30th, me and Jake will be doing the J Squared Horror Trivia Costume Contest at Jerry's, which we are both very, very excited about. We will be in costume. Hopefully you guys come out, dress up. There will be a costume contest prize and also our normal trivia prizes for our first and second place winners. We would love to see everybody dressed up in the Halloween spirit coming out to support ourselves and Jerry's. Obviously, merchandise will be for sale there as well. So thank you guys for the continued support. This is our 42nd or 43rd episode, which is crazy. We're hitting some milestones that we didn't even know was possible. So we really, really appreciate you guys checking us out and supporting us.
Yeah.
So anything else you want to add to the episode, bud?
One thing actually.
What's up, buddy?
So when people think about highbrow horror, what I never want people to do is to look down on, guess, the movies that maybe aren't up to this new standard.
Yeah.
Or ever look down on the fans of those types of movies.
Yeah.
Because they mentioned it in like Scream 5.
Yeah.
About like the Babadook or Hereditary and shit like that. Being highbrow horror. And when he's asking trivia questions, she starts to panic and says, ask me about like those movies.
Yeah.
You know, you should be able to enjoy horror in every aspect.
Yeah. I mean, you know, and it's not to say that like if our slasher and our old school horror films aren't for you, that's fine. We don't judge you. We'll judge each other every single fucking week.
Yeah.
We will make jokes. We will laugh. But at the end of the day, I said it at the beginning, we welcome all forms of horror fans on our podcast. We do not like hate in any capacity, one group versus another. Like Jake said, if you're a highbrow person, don't look down on us that would love to put on an 80s slasher film that has D-list actors and actresses in it and the plot that makes zero sense. We enjoy it. You guys enjoy some of the smarter horror films with the deeper meanings. We enjoy those too.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's just a fucking movie.
At the end of the day, it's movies.
Relax.
People get what they get out of them.
Yeah.
And nobody is dumber or smarter than the other one for how they interpreted the movie. Well, that's a hard word. I think I added like 4 D's to that thing when I'm trying to use big words here. You can call me an idiot for that all day long.
Real highbrow horror guys over here.
That's high. I'm the highbrow horror guy of this podcast. But yeah, man, at the end of the day, they're movies. It's a genre. It's been going on longer than most of us have been alive.
Yeah.
Enjoy it for whatever you get out of it.
Yeah.
So yeah. This is the J Squared Horror Podcast. My name's Josh.
And I'm Jake.
You guys have a great week, and remember, it's hip to be squared.